kind of holding a story that I want to tell, and I'll leave you with this story. It's a personal story, because it's easier than giving more explanations. I was out on the first time I ever did a fast out in nature, and I got to a point where I was just bored out of my mind. It was horrible. It was like physically painful boredom, and I sat with the boredom for a little bit, and I just said, what is under this boredom? And for whatever reason, again, being in the space, I had brought myself to this secluded forest, and I had made it my home. So I had made a connection with this space, and then out of the boredom came this thought that popped into my head, which was, if you're not perfect, you can't be loved. If you don't do everything right, you'll never actually be loved. That's an attachment wound. That's the attachment wound talking. And I broke down and I cried, but then I kept walking a little bit, and I found this big white pine, and it had these big arching branches low to the ground, and I just climbed up in it, and I told it my whole story, like my whole life, for like a couple hours, and it just held me. It was a very motherly tree. Did that heal all my attachment wounds? No, it did not. Was it a huge step? Having that realization, bringing my story, being able to cry, being able to be vulnerable. Yeah. Did it matter that it was a tree and not a therapist or a best friend? No. In some ways, I think it was more profound that I had found that space to be vulnerable and to be held and to share with that tree, with that land, in that space. Because it was something I can come back to again and again. I don't have to go to that tree. I don't have to go to that land. But I can keep building that relationship. So I wanted to tell that story to illustrate, yes, yeah, you can take a walk in the woods. Everyone should take a walk in the woods. I'm not discouraging you at all. But what would it be like to take the next step and consider that, wow, this forest, this tree, this river, this patch of grass here, this leaf, this insect, this animal I keep seeing, I wonder if it has something for me in terms of a relationship. I wonder if I'm not actually separate from it, but it has some way to interact with me that can be beneficial for me and maybe vice versa. I'm going to talk more about this in some other videos about, ways to interact in that way with the land and with nature. But yeah, if you have any comments or thoughts on this, please share. Thanks for watching.